You have to make duplicate here again. Otherwise it won't open. Second video.
For thousands of years, India has held a precious secret. The secret to health and healing. In 1993, the nucleus of an organization was born, consumed by a passion to ensure that India's medical heritage must take its place as one of the world's greatest healing systems. FRLHT, Foundation for Revitalization of Local Health Traditions. In 2013, 20 years later, the FRLHT Trust has given birth to a university, Transdisciplinary University.
The Transdisciplinary University is an innovation university. What it means is university that combines Indian knowledge systems with Western knowledge systems. So this university is engaged in modernization of healthcare by revitalizing and exploring the contemporary relevance of India's medical heritage.
In today's modern era, owing to demand for increased milk production, indigenous breeds are crossbred with high-yielding exotic breeds. This crossbreeding has led to major issues. Not only are animals more vulnerable to diseases, but they are also subjected to antibiotics and other veterinary drugs indiscriminately for treatment. Not only is this treatment much costlier than the traditional systems, it also leaves high drug residues in the animal products that in turn directly impact us. Worse, this leads to AMR, antimicrobial resistance. It is estimated that in 2050, deaths due to AMR every year compared to other causes will go up to 10 million. The GDP loss due to this is pegged at 102 trillion US dollars. Recognizing this threat, the WHO during World Health Day 2011 put out a call to combat drug resistance, saying no action today, no cure tomorrow. So what are the alternatives to antibiotics and other veterinary drugs? The answer is natural products derived from ethnoveterinary sciences and the living tradition of farmers in animal husbandry. The TDU, Transdisciplinary University Bangalore, and TANVAS, the Tamil Nadu Veterinary and Animal Sciences University, have trained 154 veterinarians and farmers to use EVP to treat 15 clinical conditions. They have also created a network of veterinarians and farmers to promote ethno-veterinary practices in dairy cooperatives across India. This training program is designed in such a way so that they may use it as a first response to any diseases, not be dependent on antibiotics or other veterinary drugs, and importantly, encourage the production of sustainable organic dairy products. The field study indicates that the traditional formulations are 87.8% efficacious for treating mastitis, 99% for FMD, and 100% for diarrhea and other pox. Our study in a selected area across the Indian states of Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and Karnataka indicates that use of EVP can reduce the residue of antibiotics in milk by 18 to 49% in just 1 year's time. Our study here indicates that EVP-based natural products kill microbes and worms. It also proves to be cost-effective healthcare for the livestock. Let us now tell you about the Emotive Indo-Afro-Dutch Exchange Program 2015 that aims to combine the expertise of these three countries to reduce the use of antibiotics in dairy production. Experts from India and the Netherlands visited Ethiopia and Uganda to identify the areas for combining expertise as well as the specific dairy needs of each country for the long term.
In India, they have developed veterinary practices that are still strong and they are being used.
In the other state of Kerala, the delegates got to know from the farmers firsthand how they use herbal products for mastitis and other clinical conditions.
4 farmers have come here to share their experience, and all of them have spoken here that this recipe has given a clear indication of control of mastitis.
And first I thought that tradition and knowledge are really hard to combine, and where we kill tradition with science in the western part of the world, here we support tradition with science, and that's something that opened my eyes and I really want to take with me when I go home.
We just started to stop the use of antibiotics. From on that time, we started to put the animal center.
In this visual, farmer Jan Dirk van der Woert shows us his world-famous Remeka Jersey Boerenkaas organic cheese made from horn Jersey cows. He tells us that he has not used antibiotics at all since 2004.
Main thrust of this exchange program is of course the concern that we all had in terms of reducing the excessive use of antibiotics.
Now changing to organic. This was also inspired by all the experience we had in India, and we changed to organic, and we approach our cows different. We try now to reduce the use of antibiotics as much as possible. Our goal is to go to zero.
As a faculty member, as a practicing farmer, across the species using the traditional knowledge with TDU, we have made a very good networking. Then came other associations, that's farm experience, meeting more people and getting it across. So my point is, traditional knowledge is, it is location specific, resource specific, and it is effective across barriers. So we have to do amends depending upon the place where we are looking at, the species we are looking at.
In the Netherlands, we are developing a herbal garden, and also the use of herbal plants and those elements will be increasing within the Netherlands. And for that we need Indian knowledge and expertise in our Dutch dairy system.
This 7-day vibrant exchange led to the concept of a new international project titled Healthy Cows, Healthy Food, a project that is aimed to begin. This project will be the part of one health program. Our increasing interdependence with animals and their products is one of the most critical risk factors to our health and well-being when it comes to infectious diseases.
So what message you got from this video now? Can somebody narrate the story now? The problem is there, solution is there, we are going with the solution, and people are there to take the solutions. It's not just India, even Holland. You know Holland, a small country, and the dairy is the major, GDP for them. Dairy sector is so high, and every farmer will have minimum 300 animals to 3,000 animals. 300 to 3,000. Husband and wife will look after their animals. Now everything is mechanized, computerized, chips. Animal will come by itself for milking, the process. Very strong system placed, but they also have a problem. And what is the solution for that? Our heritage, India's medical heritage can be a solution. That's what. So, as I was talking, one on the Paśuāyurveda literature based, now on the community owned, like local health practices are also strongly placed in our country, so that we can take whichever is very much apt for the situations. So, yeah. I hope again and again I'm asking you all, are you following the context and what we are, learning? Yes. So this is one example. This is one example for mastitis. You know, if you have an animal, then you will know how important the disease is all about. You Google mastitis, you will get to know. And there is a National Mastitis Council in US. National Mastitis Council, and the budget of National Mastitis Council is, I think, more than budget of our one state budget. That much of money they are putting to understand one disease called as mastitis. Then what is the disease mastitis is all about? The modern scientists talk mastitis can be from bacteria, virus, yeast, fungus, you name it any. They say it can be a origin. Till date we are not able to find a single cause for the disease, and they have used all sort of drugs available in the modern, but they are not able to manage a disease called mastitis. For such a devastating economical disease, we have a simple formulation from local health practices. Can you believe this formulation can heal better than antibiotics? What we have to show for that? Like, you know, do you need data for that? What data you want? As a modern scientist, you are all working across the academics. What question you can ask? What is the mechanism of action? See, we have a disease, we have a formulations, we are treating the disease, animal is recovering, producing normal, we are testing for their own parameters like pH, somatic cell count, you know, citrate content, electrical conductivity. These are the parameters to understand the reversing the disease called mastitis. Then we have shown, but still asking the question from the modern side, what is the mechanism of action of those formulation, a condition called mastitis? Do we really need the mechanism of action in this context? I'm asking you all. If it is working, why can't we place it? How many of you eat rice every day? Of course. Everybody is eating rice, wheat, fruits, vegetables, egg, milk. What is the source of those food materials within our plate? Nutritional source I'm asking. Carbohydrate, proteins, is it not? You know how much carbohydrate you have to take, how much protein you have to take every day. Do you know that? Based on that, are you taking? Why? Why you haven't tried that? Put a kitchen one board stating that your age is this much, your weight is this much. You take only 40 grams of carbohydrate, 10 grams of protein. Harvey, why we haven't tried with that? So you're all scientists. If you look into a nutritional expert, they will say, why we haven't tried? Even in the hospital, we can't do that. If that is the case, we would have taken 5 grams of protein, 10 grams of carbohydrate, not to waste so much of food every day. To take that much of protein and carbohydrate, we eat lot. Why we have not explored that? What is the mode of that giving nutrition to our body? Yes, we know, but we are not. But there are some practices being placed. My question as an Ayurveda doctor, when it is working, let it work, we'll use. And who has to develop a mechanism of action for that? Who has to develop? You tell. There are national research center, let them do the job for us. And it's a huge human resource and financial resource is needed for such a job. A country like US are putting a huge finance for National Mastitis Council. They may try tomorrow and then they take patent for this, I'll tell you. Then what Indians has to say? So we lost. We would have done that. Okay. So such a simple combinations from local health practices. One of the healer from Karnataka, Tiptur belt, he was giving this medicine to treat their own local animals who are being infected with a condition mastitis, and it was working. Then organizations like FRLHT, earlier we called TDU, the name, we started documenting those practices. Then we got to know that if it is working, then what is the rationality behind this combination? Can we explore from the literature side to say, then can we do some field studies for that? Then we have done enough studies on that to say, yes. And this type of paper we started publishing to say that how it is working. So we did some control studies in the field level. So one group we have given herbal medicines, this combination, then the other group we have given antibiotics, and then we started comparing the parameters to assess, and then we got to know that it can reverse or bring back the disease with these 3 parameters, that is pH, somatic cell count before treatment, after treatment. Then we can claim ourselves that the disease is reversed, the animal is retaining its production. From the point of Ayurveda, how do we understand the combination? Aloe vera, we have plenty of references in the Ayurveda books. We are using for human. You have seen, I think every household is keeping aloe vera in the pot. Is the same practice in Kerala? Do you keep aloe vera in your pot? At home? Yes or no? Only two options for you. Either you have to say yes or no. Yes or no? Yes. For what? It's a practice. Our mother told, our father told to keep, we are keeping. It may be used for emergency conditions like a burn, scald, for skin. Is it not? So it is available every household. Do you agree with that? Next, our turmeric. You all know turmeric. Haldi. What do you say in Malayalam? Manjal. Manjal. So you all know manjal then. Where it is placed in our kitchen? In one dabbi. For what we use? For our culinary purpose we use. It is also available. So do you agree with this? Very much. Then our chunnam, calcium hydroxide. With the pan we eat. No, I don't know that practice is there in Kerala or not. At the end of the day after dinner, there is a practice taking pan, chunnam and areca nut together to relieve or to relax our digestion process, to ease. Do you do that? No, North Indians do much. Like our Banarasi pan is very famous. If you go to Banaras, don't miss that. Two things you should not miss in Banaras. One is pan, then is Ramras with the bang. So both are very special in Banaras. You try with that. So that chunnam is also available. Otherwise, we can make available at home. You can buy from the shops. 10 rupees if you pay, you will get ample of chunnam. So our interest when we start developing these formulations for the forefront for a farmer to use, availability of a resource is a question. Is it not? If I ask some farmer to use Sanjeevani, will they use? Where you will get Sanjeevani? No idea? You don't read literatures. Sanjeevani is in Himalaya. You have to go all the way to Himalaya to bring Sanjeevani. Will it be possible for our farmer to bring Sanjeevani in use for animals? They never go. So our interest was very clear. Whatever the formulations we have to promote, then it should be easily available. That we call it as accessible. Then the cost should be very minimal, affordable. Then it work. So such formulation is this one, easily available, then affordable. The cost. What would be the cost for that? I'll go back. This formulation, manjal, aloe vera, then chunnam. Hardly it may be less than 100 rupees for me. You ask any farmer, if animal is infected with mastitis, what would be the cost of treatment? It will be more than 500, not less than so and so. Like 2,000, 3,000 it goes. So from the point of Ayurveda, when we analyze the combination whole, which is affordable, accessible, very efficacious for treating a condition called mastitis, I have put it like this from the Ayurveda. What it does the combination all about? It is very good Shroto Shodaka, it is very good Shotahara, it is very good Krimihara. So the same I can put it in a plate of modern understanding. What is the etiopathogenesis of a mastitis? What is the cause? Because of the bacteria, virus or yeast, it does the inflammation. Because of the inflammation, there will be a reduction, there will be obstruction, then, loss of production. That is what the modern understanding. Similar, we can put it from the point of Ayurveda and we can see that how effectively it will be useful. So for that mastitis, simple preparation and the technique, have a 3-minute video, I'll show you. That will be very apt for our farmers to take this knowledge in a better way rather than waiting for a veterinarian and to treat condition called mastitis. So you don't have animal, you don't face such challenges. When you have an animal, you will understand. When you milk in the evening hours, today evening, they have to milk every day twice, no. While milking, they will get to know animal is sick. Either animal may produce less milk or it may not allow the farmer to touch the udder. There is a inflammation, infection. So by that time, it will be 5 o'clock in the evening. They may call the veterinarian. When the veterinarian will come? Madam is telling, tomorrow morning, sir. Of course, veterinarian is also human being, na? 5 o'clock, his day is closed. How can he come in the evening? So tomorrow morning he will come. How many hours now? From evening 5 o'clock to tomorrow morning, he may come by 10 o'clock, at the best to say. Before that, he cannot come. He's having his own family, kids, he has to go to school, office time, he will come. How many hours now? I don't think so you are poor at maths. How many hours? 10, at least tell 12 hours, 13 hours, 14 hours, even if you tell less also okay. What will be the condition? How many of you work in the laboratory? When you put a, agar plate and put a bacteria and see by next 12 hours, how many bacteria will be there? Multiplication within no time, so much. What would be the condition for a farmer? If even doctor come in the morning 10 a.m. and he may advise some medicines, by that time it may be too late. He may not be able to reverse or he may not be able to manage the condition. What farmer has to do now? Whom he has to blame? For the bacteria? For the animal? For himself? Because he is keeping animal for his livelihood? Or to whom? Veterinarian. Whose fault is now in the situation? You have to talk now. Then only we can find better solution for our poor farmers. Whose fault now? The situation is very clear. 5 o'clock the farmer got to know that the animal 6, he didn't allow the animal didn't allow him to milk. So he immediately called veterinarian. Veterinarian said, no madam, I cannot come now. I'll come morning because my day is over. He was waiting for the veterinarian to come in the morning, and veterinarian has started his medication. Next day he got to know that animal, the disease cannot reverse. If no udder, no production, why the farmer will keep the animal? He has to either give it to a butcher shop for culling, at least he gets some money out of it. He can sell the meat, but not in every state, the situation. What he has to do? This is the literal problem our farmers are facing. You don't believe that. If the disease simple, make it simple, make the farmer to understand, let them start using the recipe what they have learned. By the time veterinarian come, either we can halt the progress of the disease or sometimes we can reverse it. This is the best part of a tradition called as Ethnoveterinary or Paśuāyurveda. So we can save the animal, we can save the farmer. That is what. Okay. So, sir, video. So I have a small video how to manage that mastitis condition. I hope you are all following again, because last 15 years of my experience with the farmers and the veterinarians, lot of things to discuss. Whose fault? Is the system failure or the drug failure, or we are not enough stuff with our own practices? It's a question. This video is developed by National Dairy Development Board along with TDU, and it is in 14 Indian languages. Everything is in public domain, YouTube. You can search, you can open, and farmer can learn by itself. No barrier to say that, and no voice for this. By just seeing, he can practice. He is Professor Punyamurthy, veterinary pharmacologist from Tanuvas, Tamil Nadu Veterinary and Animal Science University, and last 25 years he has dedicated for traditional medicine, though he is from modern medicine. Okay, so come back to the presentation. Is it simple? Is it easy? Can the farmer do? Why it is not been used then? Who is the gainer? Who is the loser here? It's very hard to decide on that. Who is the gainer? Who gains what? Who is the loser? There are players to lose here. Take it from me. Industry will lose. So much of money they spent on developing antibiotics and bringing to the market. It's a huge business they are expecting. Veterinarians going to lose. What is going to lose? Extra money from the incentives from the pharma company if they start promoting this. Who is the gainer? Who is going to get? Farmer. poor farmer. Why people has to bother for a poor farmer? Has to be answered. So that is one of the reason again to understand. So from the point of Ayurveda, when I put it, understanding the disease in Ayurveda, because Ayurveda is not herbology. We have our own system of physiology, we have our own system of pathology, we have our own system of Chikitsa Sutra for each and every Vadi. When I put mastitis in Ayurveda, then I can consider that as a Sthana Vidradi, a type of abscess. And how the pathology has been explained in Ayurveda, once we break the pathology with the combination, we call it as Samprapti Vigatanameva Chikitsa. How I am going to break the pathology with my combination? Easily I can explain you that this combination, not just a folk medicine, it has basis in Ayurveda. Based on the principles of Ayurveda, it is going to work a condition called as mastitis. That is what my role has played here as an Ayurveda doctor. So what Samprapti is going to break? What should be my formulation should have? First of all, it should have Deepana, Agni Deepana. When animal is sick, whatever the reason, when human is sick, your appetite will go down. Am I correct? So that we have to improve. Improve the metabolism of animal, the first, then remove the toxins from the body. Lot of toxins, metabolic toxins is going to create within the animal. Initial first, second day only it will be limiting to the udder. The third day, fourth day, it is going to be a systemic disease. Animal will get fever. That's going to be local, becoming a systemic. Before that, if you are intervening, so that we can halt the disease and reverse the disease easily. That's what Ayurveda explains. It explains 6 stages of a disease, starting from Sanchaya to so and so. So when we address the disease as early as possible, we can reverse the disease. If you take time to do that, then you cannot reverse. That is what. So then what should be our approach? Sroto Shodaka. It should cleanse the channels of lactiferous glands. Then Shotahara, anti-inflammatory. Krimihara, antimicrobial. Then it should have wound cleansing and wound healing at last. It should rejuvenate the whole system. If your combination is having all this, then easily we can address a disease called as mastitis, which globally has shown something like a moon. We cannot touch that. But easily we can touch with the traditional medicine. The modern industry shows mastitis as something, a moon you cannot touch. So these are some of the papers we started publishing, and where we are standing now. 14 states we are working across with the Department of Animal Husbandry, Department of National Dairy Development Board, Milk Unions, and we could able to train nearly. So this is one poster. Before that, this is a poster, very handy, 14 Indian languages with the QR code scanner placed in every milk collection center for a poor farmer. When they come with the disease, like any common disease for the animal, nearly 24 conditions, he can scan the code, then the video will open in the YouTube, he can start using the herbs at home. This is made very simple and very handy for our poor farmers. And we also have published few, handbooks in Kannada, English, Malayalam and Tamil. Southern Indian and Hindi is yet to print. So we are coming with that. And these are the common medicinal plants. I think as a faculty of different streams, you will be knowing these medicinal plants. You can see the pictures. All are available in and around, and maximum of our combinations are from kitchen and backyard. And these are some of the publications. This picture talks more. What I have talked for more than 1.5 hours. This is our collaborators across India. And in this we have 5 veterinary universities, 6 animal husbandry departments, National Daily Development Board, and also we have international organizations which we called as ISAP from Ethiopia, and then Brookie India, it's a part of Brookie UK. They work only on horses. So we have trained them, they have started using and they are seeing the results, and they want to replace a lot of with the traditional medicines rather than going for synthetic drugs. And Abbott, pharmaceutical, it's a big pharmaceutical company globally. They have in 108 countries the drug. They procure milk and milk products for infant products. For that, they should not have any drugs in those milk products. That's a challenge they are facing. After our intervention, they could able to reduce those loads. So including Britannia, Global Confederation of Cow-Based Industries, Nandini, all those things. What next we can do? Is it enough? We have 24 formulation, 24 conditions we are addressing easily. What next? Is a question for all of us. I suggest, should we focus on research? Should we focus on education? Should we focus on outreach? Research means, as a core faculty, you may expect a lot from us. What research you have done? Have you established mechanism of action? Do we have to do that? Next, education, whom we have to train? We have trained nearly 3,000 veterinarians in India. Is it enough? Not at all. How many veterinarians we have in country like India? Registered veterinary practitioners are 65,000 in India. What is the number? How many years it will take for us to train all of them? Question. Then outreach. Should we directly enter to the farmer sector to train farmer? How many farmers we have? Huge, na? How to reach? First, the step what we have taken is, let us introduce into BVSC. The next generation doctors who are coming from the university, let them have a first-hand knowledge on this. Lot they can do. They may do outreach, they may do education, they may do research next. That is our interest. Next, we are asking how to promote these concepts. This is one step. Now you got some idea. Before this, do you have any idea on this? Maybe yes, may not be no. Maybe yes, may not be yes. But the question is, after going from here, what you will do with this knowledge? Again. So, yeah, outreach, as I mentioned, sensitization, awareness and applications we need to do. Then introduction already done, trained, and we need to do more. So then networking across the networking and collaborations we have to do across different disciplines. That is most important. That has not happened. So this is all about Paśuāyurveda and local health traditions of ethnoveterinary practices. Do you have any questions? Otherwise, I'll move to Vṛkṣāyurveda. But I'm not the expert of Vṛkṣāyurveda. But yes, madam.
Thank you, sir. That was a very interesting talk. I was just wondering, with regard to antimicrobial resistance, are there any studies with regard to whether the bacteria that cause mastitis develop resistance to the ethnic formulations that you give?
Yeah, ample of studies, ample of publications already available in your platforms, PubMed. You just Google antimicrobial resistance because of the mastitis.
No. I meant to the ethnic form, like this.
Oh, you mean to say for our own formulation, is there any resistance created?
Yes.
Because it is not used at all. No, once we use for 10 years, 20 years, then we may get to know that.
Okay, but what is
the chances are there. Extensively, if you are misusing anything, that can be lead to a disease. That's what Ayurveda told. Hina, Mitya, Ati, Yoga of anything can lead to disease. If you start using excess, even the herbal combination, tomorrow we may end up with resistance for that also. Chances
so then
are
what
there.
is the solution? We have to keep trying again.
First we will find a solution for the current problem, then we'll see for tomorrow's problem.
Okay.
So for that, let us not lose our interest in working in this, because many even scientists ask, sir, what is the solution for those things if it comes? Let us wait until it comes. At least let us save this generation. Is it not? Good question, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Synthetic drug residues in the animal products. Do you have any residues in the herbs? If you give herbal medicines to the animals, you will leaching to the milk and other things. We haven't done. First we need to do application. See, until using of mobile, will not be knowing what is the adverse effect of using mobiles. If mobile industry would have thought that, then they would have not produced that. So now we are, because excess using we are seeing. Tomorrow we may have to work on that. Yes. Chances. Shall I move on to Vṛkṣāyurveda? Yes. What is Vṛkṣāyurveda? So far we are hearing for animals, and same story for plant science. How many of you own your own garden at home? Not more than few, 3-4 hands. Why? Not having enough time is a question. Not having enough knowledge. Why don't you try? Then you can really see the problem, practical problem. I own my own garden. I own my own kheti to produce my own plant. Literally I am saying no, producing organic way, it's a challenge. I have planted few tomato plants for last 2 months. No tomatoes are coming. I was astonished, putting all effort in putting gobar, this, that. Why tomatoes are not coming? If that is a case, this is for my own use I am growing. Even if it don't come also, okay, I am very passionate, I am happy to see. What is the status of our poor farmer? In the tomato plant, if tomato is not coming, what the farmer has to do? I think you are understanding the contemporary relevance. Farmer is completely relying on the food production because it's livelihood. He has to produce enough, he has to get a market, then only he can survive. For that he is doing all, and for that industry is supporting. That is the contemporary relevance. The knowledge, established since ages is a Vrukshayurveda. We can try, but to the extent, the question. So many scientists across the universities are working on this, and only concern they are telling that it is not affordable, it is not accessible. So we need to make that affordable and accessible, and a science called Vṛkṣāyurveda. So what is this Vṛkṣāyurveda? The knowledge they compiled about the plant life and its longevity. Do you really need longevity for the plants? For what? Same in animals. If you look into the native breed, how many years it's going to survive, how many birthing it's going to give birth. Same with the exotic breeds. Exotic breed, 4 calving, 5 calving. That's finished. Whereas native, it can go up to 10 calvings. That is the longevity with the breed. Same, when you go with the Vṛkṣāyurveda science, you can increase the longevity of the animal so that you can have more production. So these are the treatises of our Vṛkṣāyurveda. Starting from Surapala Vṛkṣāyurveda to last one is Chanakya's Arthashastra. We can find plenty of references using naturally available resources for management of our own plant, health, nutrition, harvesting. Everything is explained in the literatures. Are we doing that? It's a question. Then other latest publications with the 18th century, 19th century, and last 20th and 21st century, we can find so many books have been written on Vṛkṣāyurveda. But still, where are we using this? How many agriculture universities start promoting? So we need to work hard on this to bring a forefront to see. See, if you understand this, then I think you will be serious from today. For what? So you see, Dashakopa Sama Vapi, Dashavapi Samorudha, Dashastra Dasamaputra, Dashaputra Samodruma. That means 10 wells is equal to 1 pond, 10 pond is equal to 1 lake, 10 lake is equal to 1 sun, 10 suns is equal to 1 tree. That is a worth that's going to give for us. Harvey, madam will ask some more questions after this, it seems. She's seriously thinking, what should I ask on this? That is what explained in the Vṛkṣāyurveda literature to say the tree, the worth, how much it gives for a humankind, and also to establish the balance in the ecology. Then how do we build the gap? Because so far in the last 30-40 years we have come with the modern science. Now we want to revive it with the Shastra. This is a two parallel sector where we are not able to meet each other. Literally the gaps are there. How to address? We are looking in a different ways, they are looking in a different way. They see the results in a different way, we see the results in a different way. We don't find why, how it is working. Only we want results. If it is working, then we will go. But they never accept that. They think whatever we see, it has to be established in the laboratory. Then only we will accept. Otherwise, it can be empirical. So basics of Vṛkṣāyurveda, what is explained in the literature? I just made a gist to understand. So around 170 different plant species explained. It can be agricultural or it can be non-agricultural, and different chapters on agro, horticulture, home gardening, intercropping, plant procurement, preservation, soil treatment, groundwater management, and fertilizers is being explained in detail in the Vṛkṣāyurveda. So why we have not considered and taken? Only few organizations is working. One among is CIKS in Madras, Chennai, Center for Indian Knowledge Systems. The organization is around 40 years old, it seems. They have started working and they are promoting. And Shalivotra's Vṛkṣāyurveda dedicated 12 chapters which covers all these areas, starting from soil testing to last one is make the plant to blossom throughout the year. If it is a plant material, the flowering material, how do you make the plant to blossom throughout the year? So it is dedicated completely taking care of all the areas of plant health. On what basis is that functioning? Similar to like Ayurveda. What we talk Ayurveda, Navadravyas, based on that the Vṛkṣāyurveda, Paśuāyurveda principles remains the same, which consists of all these things, elements in that. Then again, to understand Vata, Pitta, Kapha are the three doshas for human, three doshas for animal, three doshas for plant, and the combination of the Panchamahabhutas help us to address the disease, the nutrition, and the management. Then literally the disease name in the Vṛkṣāyurveda literature is explained like this, and what you have to give the treatment for that. If the plant is having so and so lakshana, flowers and fruit drop, yellowing of leaves, then it is become because of vata. Then if it is leaf is yellowing, decay of flowers and fruits, it is because of pitta. And premature fruit ripening, tasteless, fruit bearing delayed, then it is because of the kapha. Then what is the treatment protocol you have to adapt, and what is the cause from the modern perspective? So we can place it like this. For every plant and its a disease, we can put it in this, permutations and the combinations. And the treatment, I'm going to tell what is kunapa jal, how to prepare, and different ways. Those things have to be prepared by the farmer, and they can treat. This is one literal or typical example given in the Vṛkṣāyurveda for betterment of agricultural practices, that is kunapa jal. Okay, so these are the ingredients, that is a method. If you make a combination of so and so, keep it for so and so weeks, then the material will be ready. That material can be used for sprinkling on the plant or giving to the root for its nutrition. So both explained. I'm just briefing because I'm not the expert, but it's a part of my lecture. Then plant wonders in Vishwa Vallabha, it is explained in a different way. So, we may come across lot of environmental factors when we grow our own plants. So whatever the factor, the solution has been explained in a literature called as Vishwa Vallabha. So that means not just natural, even unnatural. So both can be dealt with in a better way from the point of Vṛkṣāyurveda. At last, this slide will help you understand. Krishir Danya Krishir Medyo Jantunam Jivanam Krishihi. What does that mean? We have to live together. Everything is a part of life. That means agriculture is blessed, agriculture is fertile, agriculture is the life of animals. Animals means not to large animals, even the microorganism is a part of Jantu, is a part of our life. So we have to learn how to live with that. So what we are doing for last 50-60 years, we want to take away all the bacteria, all the fungus, all the yeast, all other than lower animals we want to keep away. So we are at trouble. So Vṛkṣāyurveda talks more on that. So we have to live together, we have to go together, so then we can have a better life. This is Vṛkṣāyurveda. So I just brief you all, then how to understand Paśuāyurveda as a major, because that is my domain. I am working for last 15 years. And Vṛkṣāyurveda we want to start now, but we are not the expert to say, but plenty of literatures we started, exploring what best we can offer for our poor farmers, as well as the scientists who are working in the agriculture universities. That is our interest. So it's a lengthy hour to say, yes, but still enough information I try to give it to you all. Please take this message and to percolate among your network to say that where we are standing. At least if you start interacting with different sectors, we may not get the answer, I know, because the system is like that, but still somewhere else we have to knock it. Then only we will be in a position to say that how best we are with our traditional systems like India's medical heritage can address a global issue, AMR and other sectors. Thank you. I look forward some questions. Yeah. Any questions? Start promoting things at simplest way so that you will start learning more. And we need to have our own food practices, our own animal practices, our own health practices. So we will have better health. All are interdependent. It is not the one is different from the other. Human, animal, environment, all are together. So we have segregated, we have distinguished, but we should not do that. So we have to go hand in hand. That's what we want to bring together, which is called as One Health. Ayurveda has told long back on all these. So it has to be addressed together. Otherwise, we are at trouble. Yeah. Any questions? If someone is interested, we are ready to, collaborate, to do work, to generate data, to do research, to promote. See, at different levels we can do. Promotion is the best part to say, but to do promotion we need to have enough stuff with us so we can generate more data on that. I'm very happy, and I thank Ram sir and the whole IKS team, and as well as Amrita University for giving me an opportunity to be here and to deliver my lecture. And most respectful pranams for Maji. Such a beautiful institute, lot of education can transform, is it not? So these systems also to be well placed in the education system. Then we can transform in a better way. So thank you so much for being with me for last 1.5 hours. It was nice to present you all. Being you all learned people in academics, lot you can transform. This is my number. You can write to me anytime. I'm always there to address. At the end of the day, email communications are very good. Like it will be easy, handy, and it will be there. The mail. That is my number. You can reach me anytime. So I'm placed in Bangalore. So yeah, a lot of transformation are happening within the organizations as well. So we can collaborate and we can work together.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your valuable knowledge with us about Pasvayurveda and Vṛkṣāyurveda. Now, I humbly request Brahmachari Amrita Chaitanya to honor our resource person, Dr. Kumar SK, with a token of gratitude.